We're live from Aero Arena. 9 minutes, 40 seconds to go on the pregame clock. I'm Chris Mowry. I'll bring Brandon Wells in here in a second. We've got OCC basketball action. Our Ashland Arrows are playing host to the West Holmes Knights in a key OCC matchup. The Lady Arrows having a fantastic season, 11-3 and 7-0 inside the all-important OCC, on the hunt for their first OCC crown in 30 years. West Holmes comes in at 6-8 and 4-4. Pre-game show brought to you by Ashland Eye Care. Proud AHS alum Dan Denbo will handle all your vision needs. Good to be back with you, BW.
It's great to be back. You were out on assignment.
Yep.
You were missed. This has been a fun season to watch the girls. You know, usually most people are more excited to watch the boys, but I tell you what, this girls squad,
they can go.
They can go. They're a lot of fun. They've got an opportunity tonight to go 8-0 in the conference and be off to a 12-3 start if they were able to win tonight. Just a couple wins away from clinching the OCC potentially, and that could happen this week. But they got to win tonight. You got to take care of who's on the schedule here tonight.
Look, these ladies have won 10 of their last 12 and 7 in a row. And not only 7 in a row, but you think about the last 2 wins against Dover and Tri-Valley, 2 squads that are tradition-rich in girls basketball, and Ashland was able to knock both those squads off.
Yeah, those were big wins, and that Tri-Valley win on Monday in overtime was one where they came from behind, Chris. They were behind the entire game until just maybe a couple minutes left in the ball game, and Coach Holt has them believing that they can win any game, and it was evidenced by that. They've got West Holmes, who's always tough and always scrappy, a little down this year. They're young, kind of rebuilding, retooling on the fly, but it's an opportunity for the Arrows to get a midweek win at home on a Thursday night.
You're watching on the Ashland Arrows Broadcasting Network, presented by Sarver Paving. Tonight's game, as always, is brought to you by Hedstrom Entertainment, having unplugged fun for over 100 years. And again, you're joining us on the Ashland Eye Care pregame show. We start the broadcast the same way all the time, and we give our thanks to our broadcast partners: Sarver Paving, Hedstrom, Ashland Eye Care, Whitaker Myers, Priest Dental, Wickham and Hess, South Street Grill, Goldberry Roasting, Andrew Bush Law Office, Chandler Systems Inc., Truly Inspired Paper Company, Valley Transportation, Linway Restaurant, Simonson Construction, Bill Harris Dealership, Sprang Smith Insurance, Connery Manufacturing, BB&C Car Care, Coldwell Banker Ward Real Estate, Janney, Truax Printing, and Bo Lacey Construction. Brandon, we're excited. We got a good one on tap today, and let's get a quick look at the Arrows record in the OCC standings, brought to us by Whitaker Myers.
Brings up the rear at the bottom of the OCC. I know no Arrow fans are really disappointed about the bottom half there of the OCC. There's not enough time down there. But today,
times are a-changing.
Yeah, they are a-changing. The Arrows are in good shape here. They really are. You said it, Chris. One in a row. And on the other side, West Holmes, a little bit of a struggle right now. They have lost 3 in a row and 4 out of their last 5.
And let's not forget, these Lady Arrows went down to Millersburg and won inside the dungeon. I love that. They call that the dungeon down there. It's awesome. They went down there and won. If they win tonight, this would be the first sweep of West Holmes, it may be ever. I don't know, dating back to the historical value of that, but it could literally be the first time in program history that the Lady Arrows were able to knock off the Lady Knights 2 times in one season. Yeah. Look, if it wasn't for cliches, you and I wouldn't know the English language. I'm Chris Mowry. He's Brandon Wells. You're joining us from the Priest Dental broadcast booth. AHS alum Kevin Priest and his team will handle all your dental needs. Hey, don't forget about the South Street Grill.
Yep.
South Street Grill is your place for all Aero athletics, from football now into basketball. They got the game on there tonight, and then into the spring we'll have boys baseball for you as well. We give thanks to South Street Grill for joining us all season long. Go down there, get a burger, grab a drink, watch the Aero athletics. We appreciate their support.
You know, when we went down there, it was 45-24, and we kind of beat up on them. So West Holmes coming in here with a chip on their shoulder, Chris. I might have said that while I was muted.
Okay.
But my point is, they're coming in here ready to rock, and they're going to want to get off to a good start. The Arrows need to get off to a good start as well. It's always key in these games, especially on a Thursday night. Kind of a low energy atmosphere right now. Not a ton of fans in the stands, and so you hope the girls come out ready to play.
Aunt Katie's giggling down there in Kentucky. She says the Mamba's going to turn the volume up here momentarily. We look forward to just that. Hey, Pave the Way Forward, brought to us by Sarver Paving, serving North Central Ohio for over 75 years. JV came up a little short, Brandon, 31-27. They fall to the West Holmes Knights.
Yeah, JV had a tough one. They hung around. They got down early. And anytime you get down early, Chris, it just sometimes it causes you some problems. You got to battle all the way back. But, you know, they came up with a tough game and a loss. It happens.
You know, that's why you're playing JV, right? It's to get better. You get yourself in those situations. The Arrows were down by 3 points. They're late. Hey, it's time for the Goldberry Roasting injury report. Thank goodness there's no injury bug to talk about, so the Arrows are healthy. What are you doing over there, buddy?
Well, listen, I got all kinds of buttons to push, but I'm drinking some hot tea in my Goldberry cup here, ready to rock for tonight.
What kind of cup is that?
It's just a recyclable one. I could use maybe something a little better.
Wait, you mean like this?
Oh, a Yeti.
And then you put Goldberry there?
Yeah, if that
this
happens.
This is the national champion, number 9, Ohio State Buckeyes.
Well, you can tell Pete Cooper and Doug Cooper, if they want to contribute a Yeti with some Goldberry logo on it, I'll keep it up here and in the booth for football, basketball, and baseball.
Well, you got a mic. Look at the camera and say it.
Why don't you give me a Yeti? I'll put it on all the time. Right, that's right.
Don't beat around the bush. Go right for the jugular. Right for the jugular, just like a Komodo dragon. Goes
goodness.
right for the whole thing and eats it all down in one swoop. One
fell swoop, like
Thank
Nate Bargatze would say. Right.
Bargatze. Hey, it's time to get a quick look at our AHS player profile, brought to us by Andrew Bush, law officer, hometown law office leader here in Ashland, and that's none other than Lauren Green. Favorite activity, it's either the bus ride, it's either going to somebody's house, or it's the pregame locker room, or the locker room in general, and that's Lauren as well. Favorite teacher is Mrs. Myers. I subscribe to Lauren's carnivore diet of her favorite food being steak. You know what, Lauren? I'm sorry, but old Bammer didn't make the college football playoffs, but the Buckeyes did for title number 9.
The Greens have a connection with Alabama, though. They seem to love Alabama down there, a few of them.
Burn, Tide, burn.
Mrs. Myers, favorite teacher for Lauren Green. I think there's a long list of folks that would probably say that as well.
Yeah, for sure. And then inspiration role model is her mom, and she wants to go to college and study radiology science, which for all you people out there, non-medical educated people, myself being one, that would be x-rays, I believe, right?
Yeah.
Or something like that?
Yeah, sure. That's fine. They'd be able to read the x-rays. You're not an x-ray tech. That's different, but a radiologist is able to read all of the x-rays. I've had plenty, mostly on my head.
Next year, we will have the student or the fan cam sponsored by somebody. Tonight, none other than legendary Arrows, the Sturry family. Dr. Metzger, AU's finest, in attendance.
Oh, yeah, Mitch.
Clell Cox in attendance. Cameron Cox's grandparents and the like, and we've got a nice packed crowd here inside Arrow Arena tonight. Hey, let's get a quick look at the keys to the game, brought to us by Sarver Paving. Again, serving North Central Ohio for over 75 years. What do you got, BW?
Well, Sarver Paving, keys to the game for the Arrows, intensity. You've had a couple days off this week due to school. It's messed around with your practice schedule a little bit, so you got to come out with the intensity level you need. And then number 2 for them, don't change a thing, Chris. There's nothing to change. You've been playing so well, right? There's nothing to change here, and let's keep with that.
46 seconds on the pregame clock. We're getting ready for the Star-Spangled Banner to be sung here in Arrow Arena. Old Glory comes down center rafters there, and we're just about ready to get that underway. That's presented by Chandler Systems, Inc., locally owned and operated right here in Ashland for over 40 years. Our next pregame guest on Friday is going to be none other than Billy Chandler. He's going to join us.
Looking
so we
forward
look forward to that. And we'll mute ourselves, turn up the volume into the 4th. You can join along and sing with the national anthem. Sounds like a tornado, folks. I think it was a hurricane rolling through North Florida down in the Panhandle. Maybe some snow being delivered. That was Brandon trying to fight with his glasses and his mic, so that was kind of comical. Well done, buddy.
I'm glad it wasn't on camera. That's all I'll say.
Starting lineups brought to us by Truly Inspired Paper Company for all your paper needs, from wedding invitations, coloring books, business cards, and everything in between. Check out Truly Inspired Paper Company with offices in Ashland and Ludenville.
Yeah, buddy. There it is. The Arrows with Tobias Lacey, Green, Sturry, and Cam Cox. And that's been the starting lineup for most of this year since they got fully healthy. That group has done a great job. Good chemistry on there. And you'll see Madison Hoffman coming in relatively quickly, usually as the first off the bench. She'll get a lot of time, and she played great on Monday. You'll see Lainey McNamara as well, and maybe Josie Van Tilburgen. And Brylan Madial has also given some good minutes to this Arrows squad.
You know, I think one thing, since Coach Holt has kind of revamped this starting lineup, you realize you got Madial, who you said has been a starter, and then you got Madison Hoffman, who spent her first 2 years in high school being a starter. But you can play 7 kids in a variety of different roles. It's really an asset here for Coach Holt.
Yeah, you have some depth, right? You've got some size depth, you've got some guard depth, you've got some wing depth. So you have the depth that you need to be successful in the regular season and in the postseason. You really kind of narrow down your rotation as much as you can. You try to stay out of foul trouble, and you want to be healthy, obviously, down the stretch.
On the other side, for the West Holmes Knights, they'll start Briar Klein, Zelina Proper, Jewel Brown, Aviona Yoder, and Greta Rollins. That'll be the first 5 for head coach Lindsey Belden. You guys may be familiar out there. That's Lindsey Snyder. That her sister is Lena Snyder of AU fame and international professional basketball.
And Lindsay was a great basketball player as well. Played 4 years over at Malone, and husband Ben is the boys coach at West Holmes, trying to rebuild down there. So Kurt and Shane Snyder, good folks, the Snyder parents, and always happy to see them. Haven't seen them here tonight, but maybe they're home watching down there in Millersburg.
Usually Kurt Snyder sits right there, right out of the side of the pre-Stella broadcast booth and listens to the game as he's watching the game, which is really cool. Snyder family, a fantastic group of people down there in Millersburg. 8 minutes on the first quarter clock. Just about ready to get this one underway. PA address announcer Dan Chandler introducing the home crowd, or the starters to the home crowd. The Arrows come in averaging 47.5 points per game, and they allow 44.6 points a game. Shoot it at 39% from the floor, 31% from outside the arc. And the one thing that, if you want to get picky, 55%, Brandon, as a team from the stripe. I think when you get into tournament play, you want to see those things knocked down.
Yeah, got to be better than that. Your goal's usually around 70 to 75 if you're really good. But there's been a couple of games where we got a little off kilter from the line, and hopefully those were just anomalies, because you're right, Chris. You get into the postseason, you play some good teams. That margin for error gets much thinner, and what happens is, Chris, you really have to knock down free throws and take care of the basketball in order to win games in the postseason. The sectional is a little different this year. We'll talk about that a little bit later, but it's a different arrangement. But some of the same teams, but we don't have to travel as far, thankfully.
Absolutely. The starters are on the floor for the Arrows, and they will be joined shortly here by the Knights. Again, starting for the Arrows, Tobias Lacey, Green, Sturry, and Cox. Kennedy Lacey in the familiar center circle. She'll do the jumping duties, and she'll be opposed by number 31, Greta Rollins, for the Knights. We're underway, just about ready to get underway. The tip brought to you by Linway Restaurant. Quality food and fine services, 1951. Check out Linway Restaurant, not only for breakfast or lunch or dinner, but the amazing pies.
Oh, great stuff up there. Who doesn't love pie, especially at any time of the day? You can eat pie, breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Midnight snack.
Yeah, it's not good to eat within 4 hours of going to sleep, but,
Underway, a 3-ball by Sturry from the corner. Doesn't get it, and pulled that down. Rebound is Jewel Brown.
Officials brought to you by Valley Transportation, the forefront of the steel and aluminum hauling industry since 1973.
Thomas Rennie, Mike Mitchell, and David Russo will be blowing the whistles. There's an uncontested layup. Left hand, no good. Arrows got away with one right there. Cameron Cox pulls that rebound down. Here they go. The Sturry has the ball in her hands. over center court, and Sturry going to go right to the rack.
Good take, but
it was going to be a foul. No foul called there.
Yeah, good defense in there. These teams are really going in opposite directions of late. We talked about it in the pregame, but if you're just joining us, Arrows have won 7 in a row, I think 10 out of 12. And on the other side, West Holmes has lost 3 in a row and 4 out of 5. So you obviously want to come out and get off to a good start if you're the Arrows and try to keep them in their place, if that makes sense.
Look, West Holmes has been the class of the field. They end West in senior high school for a long time here in the OCC playing basketball. Here's a 3-ball by the Knights. That's short, and ball is going to be controlled by Rollins. Again, she goes up and gets that one converted, but does get hacked. She'll go to the stripe for one more.
Sarver Paving replay on this. You saw just not holding the box out long enough on that backside, and right there was.
Kennedy Lacey picks up that player foul. That's her first, Arrows first. So Rollins at the stripe, Conner Manufacturing stripe, looking for the old-fashioned three-point play.
You know, the Arrows, from a program standpoint, Chris, 3 years ago, 4-19. Last year, 9-14, a big switch, and then this year, 11-3. So they really have it rolling, and this is an opportunity for the Arrows to win their first OCC in more than 30 years. Officials having some kind of an issue here at the scorer's table, not sure, as Coach Belton comes over to say, hey, what's happening? And they're trying to check and see who the foul was on. I think they called it on Lauren Green instead of Kennedy Lacey. One person said 21, one said 12. I'm not sure.
They originally said Kennedy Lacey, and Kennedy Lacey still shown with the foul. Nonetheless, the Mambas in transition off to Sturry in the corner. Sturry.
They missed Cam there. She had good position down low, but she got pushed out there. Good outside pass, a little in and out.
Good job by Tobias tracking that one down. Sturry had an open jumper. She's going to drive the lane. The Mamba turnaround Jade in and out.
That's a good look in there. Just can't get it to fall. Good patience for the Arrows on that possession.
Steal by Cox. Turnover by Cox.
Followed up by bad patience. It happens. The high school level especially. Arrows have been playing this 1-2-2 zone and really playing it well of late.
Big swing pass from West Holmes there. Able to get back and cover that one, but a 3-ball by Briar Klein, who comes in averaging just under 11 points, makes it 5-0 West Holmes. Arrows looking to break the seal. Get on the board.
First quarter brought to you by Comfort Control for all your heating and cooling needs in Ashland and the surrounding region. Contact our good friends at Comfort Control.
Joe Reap was the Wickham and Hess pregame guest not too long ago. That was fun catching up with him. He's going to be the new Booster Club president.
Yeah, I like it. He's the right man for that job.
Yep. Fantastic.
It takes a certain set of skills to do that job, Liam Neeson style.
I was just waiting for you to finish, and I was going to say the same thing. Another turnover. Oh, no, the Mamba got a hand up there and was able to corral that basketball.
Liam Neeson's best role, though, Love Actually.
I think he was pretty fantastic and taken, if I'm being honest. Lauren Green, round right edge, gets that denied, and West Holmes able to come up with the basketball.
West Holmes has showed up ready to play defensively, and a cheap foul by Grace Tobias out near midcourt. Officials calling it tight early.
Well,
the way you beat a zone, Chris, so far, right, is by patience. You skip passes, hit the middle, look opposite, taking care of the basketball. And the first Sid Suds substitution of the ball game. CC Suri takes a seat. Madison Hoffman in for the Arrows.
Arrows doing a good job of trapping on the edges. Here's one they tried, but pass was able to be delivered by Aviana Yoder. It's going to be West Holmes basketball. Ready to break the seal, my friend. Arrows still stuck on a donut.
Anytime. This happens. You just got to get that first one to fall, and everybody will loosen up.
There's another triple attempt. Rollins. Guess what, folks? That's 5 for Rollins. That's 8 for West Holmes, and we're down 8-0 here. 4:30 to go in Comfort Control first quarter. Mamba goes to the rack. She gets fouled. She'll go to the Conner Manufacturing stripe for 2, and maybe we're going to break the seal here at the stripe, Brandon. Any way you do it, needs to get a point on the board.
Yeah, it's all right. Good job of attacking. You can't panic when you get down early. There's no sign of panic out there from the ladies.
Head coach Lindsey Belden always coaching her squad. The second time we've seen her up here in Arrow Arena, and I'll tell you, she's into the game and engaged and does a really fine job coaching these ladies. Sid says substitution. Josie Van Tilburg checks in for Cameron Cox. So Arrow's employing a little bit of a smaller lineup today, Brandon, here with this line change. Mamba's second attempt, back iron, no good, but the Arrows get the rebound. Nice position by Lauren
West
Green.
Holmes playing physical in there. That's a good job by Grace, just taking your time, be patient.
Brandon, to be honest, I don't think they know any other way. Here's a, ooh, she didn't take it. I thought she was going to take it.
It's a man-to-man look right now for West Holmes. Nice drive, good rip through. Good job by Maddie Hoffman just taking it to the basket and saw, you know, as she caught it and saw a lane developing and said, I'm just going to rip through and go to the basket.
Nothing wrong with that, my friend. Anytime you can get to the stripe, good results. Aviana Yoder picks up that foul for the Knights. That's her first foul.
Yeah, but you said it earlier, the Arrows shooting just 55% as a team from the line. Jewel Brown sits down with a couple of fouls.
Madison Hoffman helping the team field free throw percentage. She gets both of her tosses to go. All 3 Arrow points from the stripe tonight, 8-3. West Holmes.
Lauren Green takes a seat. Full court pressure from the Arrows, man-to-man.
Remember, last time we were here, they did this full court press against Dover that I recall, and it really led to some turnovers.
Boy, Grace Tobias.
Pounding.
Good take. And you're giving them extra effort or extra shots. You got to put a body on somebody underneath. And Arrows giving up second and third shots so far. Lacey attacks. Good job by Kennedy. But right now, the Arrows a little out of the flow on both ends. Interesting to see, you know, a lot of subs here for the Arrows, Chris. You said it, and just a kind of a constant, steady flow. I think trying to get some messages across to folks and talk to them on the bench. That's generally why, because you want to leave your group out there as long as you can to get some rhythm. But if you're trying to teach and you're trying to coach and have somebody come over and you got a message for them.
Kennedy Lacey's first toss, no good, and the Mamba will have her second toss coming. The Arrows trail the Knights 10-3. 3:39 to go. Lacey's second attempt is converted. She's got 2 points, and the Arrows now in a 6-point hole.
Still yet to make a field goal of the Arrows. Right. The Arrows don't get back on defense, and Cam got beat out of position there. We got unfortunate there because that girl got behind Cam Cox, and Cam was out of position.
Need a whole lot of want to right now, ladies. Brandon, you said it, and I've been watching it. It's a matter of boxing out and not allowing these second chance opportunities that West Holmes has been getting here. Kennedy Lacey going to check out here with the Arrows trailing 10-4.
You know, not to sound cliched, but you know West Holmes is going to play tough. Oh, there's the Snyders down in front of us coming in with Lena in tow. Grab her and talk to her at the half. Arrows need a basket. Maddie taking it to the basket. It's no dice.
Hall of Famer. Well, soon to be Hall of Famer.
That's good defense by Cam. If you're going to draw a charge, though, you got to fall down. Let the Arrows come up with the loose ball off the good defensive play.
Here comes Sturry, stops just inside the stripe, puts that one up, no good. Josie Van Tilburg, right spot, right time, and puts it up. No foul called. We're going to have a jump ball. Cameron Cox got on the floor.
I don't care for either of those shots, Chris, because you're mid-range. Again, you either got to get to the hoop, you know, or fire the three. And Josie, who had the lane there, and she kind of came up a little short. Actually, if she goes all the way to the basket and tries to finish, you're going to get a foul. You can go all the way, and I don't care what people say. Jump stop is still a great move to get people up in the air and pump fake.
Especially at this level, let's be honest.
Well, it's great at every level.
Yeah. Yep.
There's some things that, you know, are just timeless.
Undefeated, I like to say. Cameron Cox gets position back on Yoder, but no way, Yoder says. I'm going to go ahead and throw it in. 4 points now for Yoder.
Yeah, she let her catch it too low. If you let a good post player catch the ball 2 feet from the hoop, it doesn't matter how good you are. They're going to score. You know, you don't have a 6-inch advantage on them, Chris. Sorry.
That's okay. Arrows still looking for their first field goal. Here's Sturry for a triple. Doesn't catch anything, and that ball is going to head out of bounds off of the Arrows. West Holmes basketball.
You're seeing a little adversity here, right, as far as basketball goes. You're 6 minutes in. You haven't made a basket. You're only down 8. You know, this is a test of our maturity right now to see how we respond.
Good way to say it. 12-4. West Holmes leads Ashland. Just over 2 minutes to go. The Mamba going back to the scores table to check back in on the next stoppage. CC Sturry playing some hounding defense.
I don't know what happened, but the crowd mics got turned off here somehow.
Lauren Green.
Need to talk to Garth.
Pick that one up, and here comes Madison Hoffman. Good entry pass into Cox, left-hander with a lot of English, gets it to go. The Arrows find their first field goal here, 12-6.
Good job. Holmes. Yeah, Cam, great look inside and finished with, you said it, a lot of English.
Here's a triple attempt by West Holmes. Wow. Briar Klein,
Nobody
good.
boxed her out. We got fortunate. Everybody stood around and watched.
Arrows running. Madison Hoffman towards the lane, gets a foul called. I think the Arrows got bailed out there, if I'm being honest, and Madison Hoffman going to go to the stripe.
Good things happen when you attack the basket. Sometimes you get a foul, right? And that's okay. So I love the fact that she's attacking the basket. We're not hitting many shots right now from the outside, and Maddie Hoffman does the right thing.
Maddie Hoffman shooting over 60% from the stripe. She's 3 for 3 today from the stripe, and Dave Schwartz told you in the post game that there's nobody he'd rather have at the line than Maddie Hoffman.
Yeah, Coach Schwartz said he really did want her at the line, and he's right. She's got great form, finishes high, doesn't thumb the ball. She does a nice job. Kennedy Lacey back in. Madison's got 4 of our 8.
4 of them from the Connery Manufacturing stripe. 1:20 to go here in the Comfort Control first quarter. Arrows trying to claw back here. Defense intensity's picked up. Lainey McNamara on the floor for the Arrows. Mamba's back out there. Grace Tobias as well. And there is an entry pass, and nobody's home back on the wing. That'll be a turnover back to Ashland here. 1:08 to go. 12-8. Ashland lead, or Ashland Trail, excuse me.
Yeah, we're so used to saying Ashland leads, Chris. I get it, yeah. We have not been down much at all. These home games especially.
Give and go right there. Grace Tobias off the glass, no good, but a fantastic rebound by Cameron Cox. Put back up. Arrows now only trail by 2.
That's why you got to crash the boards. Good job by Cam being aware and being ready. Good drive or good little give and go there.
All the way to the line.
That's going to be a cheap foul on Lauren Green reaching in. You got to step in front and take a step over and take a charge. That's a play where you're going to get called for that foul almost every time, even if you did just hit the basketball. One more step and you're right there in the middle of the key and take a charge.
Lost start taking the charge.
Well, it's not for the best teams, right? If you want to, we're a good team right now, Chris, right? We're a good team. There's no doubt. We're 11-3 and 7-0 in the OCC. If you want to be a great team, you want to win some tournament games and make a run, then you got to do those things as well.
Briar Klein now with a 4-point night so far. She's got a chance here at the stripe for point number 5. She gets it. It's a 14-10 lead for West Holmes. 47 seconds to go.
Yeah, Klein and Yoder are their leading scorers, just averaging both under 11.
West Holmes has been playing a 2-3 zone all night, right?
They've mixed in a little man. They've mixed it up. They're in man right now.
Left-hander for Cameron Cox goes up, doesn't get it to go. Heck of a pass by Kennedy Lacey.
Well, and I think they're doubling Kennedy. They've doubled her quite a few times here when she's caught the ball, I think, below the elbow. Sometimes it's a mandate, right? You see one of their best players say, hey, anytime she catches the ball below the free throw line, we're going to double her, whoever's the nearest, and then we got to rotate on the backside.
Well, that's a novel idea to guard or double an All-Ohioan, I think, and Cameron Cox gets her 5th point of the night. 14-11.
I think you got to be creative when you're outmatched or undermanned. I've coached a lot of teams where you didn't necessarily have as much talent as the other team, and that's where you got to mix it up. You got to junk up your defense. That's we talked about this kind of thing before, where you say, okay, after a make we're going zone, after a miss we're going man, whatever you want to do to try to junk it up, to try to keep that team that has more talent from getting in a rhythm.
26 seconds to go here. Great defense by CC Sturry. Mamba comes out to trap, but they get the ball off to center court. Do the Knights.
Good D by CC right there. Don't reach. Stay on it.
Good defense right there. West Holmes looking for an entry pass, but Cameron Cox, right spot.
That's twice we've
throw
done
it away. Arrows trail by 2. Briar Klein going to the goal off the rim. No good. Luckily, the Arrows escape, not giving up a basket there.
That was a terrible defensive possession.
14-12, West Holmes lead. We'll be right back with the second quarter right after this.
The most trusted and efficient construction company in the region, with a long history of doing things the right way from concept to completion. Simonson Construction solves all your construction needs for commercial and public projects. A truly local company providing award-winning comprehensive design-build services since 1974. For more information, scan the QR code or go to simonsonconstruction.com. Come visit the South Street Grill in downtown Ashland, the official watch location every Friday night during the Arrows football season. You can catch all the action in the bar area on the big screens. Elevated casual dining in downtown Ashland, steaks, seafood, hand-patted burgers, vegetarian options, salads, and a huge kids menu. Something for everyone in a completely renovated, historic building. South Street Grill, your home for Arrows football.
Well, BW, we're going to have a Wickham and Hess halftime guest today.
Yeah, we'll leave it out there. We'll leave it out there.
Well, you of AU fame will be
special guest.
Interested to tune in at halftime here as we have a Wickham and Hess halftime guest that to all of Ashland is well known and all of West Holmes is well known.
Yeah, I think people that might give it away, but someone's in the building, an Ashland Hall of Famer.
Soon to be.
Well,
we'll just give it to her now.
Well, whatever.
14-12, the Knights lead the Arrows. Arrows basketball here to start the second. Arrows haven't had a three-point goal go down. There's one by Lacey. Good job. Right spot, right time, and Cameron didn't panic and found a cutting Lacey, and we're tied up here at 14.
Great look.
Little full court press being displayed here by the Arrows.
Yeah, man to man. We haven't seen that three-quarter court 1-2-2.
What was your favorite defense to run?
1-3-1. I mean, in a half court, I love the 1-3-1. I think it's if you've got the athletes, if you've got somebody long that you can put up front that can run and on the baseline, it hides a lot of potential flaws. The 1-3-1 is my favorite.
I don't know where that foul was.
Well, it was on the floor somewhere.
Cameron Cox picks up her first. She's got 6 points here. Averages 6 on the campaign. Arrows and Knights tied at 14, 7 minutes, 15 seconds to go. Sprang-Smith second quarter.
All your insurance needs. I still need to make a phone call over there to Rob Wash.
You knew it was coming.
I would beat you to the punch.
Arrows with a forced turnover, and Tobias off to Green. CC, I thought she was going to launch it, BW, but gets it to the Mamba. Mamba out to Lauren Green. She's not afraid to fire, but going to drive the baseline. Grace Tobias for a triple. No good.
Right.
Great rebound by Cox. Goes to the glass, gets fouled. She going back to the stripe. Good job, Cameron Cox working underneath. 14-14.
Sarver paving replay. Good job, Cam. Just fighting through two defenders and splits them and gets herself to the line. That was a nice possession right there. That's a good shot by Grace in the corner. It was in rhythm. You have to make them respect that shot because Grace can knock that down. But if you pass it up too many times, now they're not going to cover you, right? If you're a Cavs fan, you remember the previous couple years, Isaac Okoro, right? Great defender, and similarly would not take those shots, even though he can make them. And they got to respect it. And Grace can knock down that shot in rhythm.
Greta Rollins picks up her second foul. That's a big deal. A starter here, big post player here for West Holmes, picks up her second foul. 6:45 to go here in the Sprang-Smith second quarter. Cox gets both tosses to go. She's got 7, and the Arrows up by 2, and Cox with a great steal. Goes right to the rack. Left hand doesn't get it to go. A little too heavy off the Ward Real Estate bank.
Man, I thought we might have our Bo Lacey hustle play of the game right there. That was close and just couldn't quite finish. But a great steal nonetheless from Cam Cox.
Arrows maintain possession. Sturry going to trigger it in out of the baseline. Mamba cutting to the goal. Right hand off the glass. The bank shot's open. Lacey, little polite, picks her up off the deck.
Just great sportsmanship in the middle of a And there it is. Coach Belton gets a tee. And I've been teed up by that gentleman before as well. She is unhappy, and
what was she hot about?
I'm not quite sure, to be honest. I think, I'm not sure. She's fired up. And that will put Cam Cox at the line.
That kind of seemed like a quick whistle to me, BW. I got to be honest.
Oh, it was a quick whistle, and it was a quick tee. But, some of these guys and gals have short memories.
Cox first.
Long memories, I should say, and maybe they have a history. Maybe,
that's why I like baseball so much, because you're 97 feet away from the home plate umpire, and you can just turn around, and they don't know where it's coming from. Cox gets the second one to go. The Arrows going to get the basketball. Well, they're now leading 20-14.
They always knew where my voice was coming from. I think it was maybe a little recognizable because I was just too loud.
Me too. It sounded good, though, how I delivered it. Arrows, as mentioned, going to get the basketball. Sturry passes it in to Tobias, and the point guard going to go get it back.
And just like that, Arrows up 5. Didn't panic early. We talked about it, Chris. Down 12-4, and here you are on quite a run. It's a 15-2 run for the Arrows.
3 ball. Lauren Green, no good. That ball is going to be Ashland basketball. Jewel Brown goes out of bounds for the Knights. I think she would have let it go. It might have been Knight basketball, BW.
I'm all right with that.
Yep. Madison Hoffman checks in.
I think you're right. Maybe she thought it got tipped in the corner, didn't see it, and so she just, good effort.
Mamba working hard down there in the paint, but they find Madison Hoffman. She thought she had a lane around right elbow, but didn't. Here's Cameron Cox down low from behind.
Well, they all doubled. Yeah, they doubled and tripled on her, and she had no choice. Great steal. There's your hustle play of the game, brought to you by Bo Lacey. And, of course, apropos, it is Kennedy Lacey. Do you know what apropos means? It's French for appropriate.
Spell it. Oh, the Mamba had it and dropped it. Oh, no. The Arrows were going to have an easy bucket, but Lacey not out of control that one.
APROPOS. And there's like some kind of weird accent mark in there somewhere.
VOTF has no clue that there was an S at the end of that word. I'll guarantee you that. 5:38 to go. Sprang-Smith's second quarter.
Oh, what a steal.
There's Maddie Hoffman going to the rack, and she gets it off the glass. Arrows 21-14. Maddie Hoffman having a heck of a ball game. She's got 7 already, BW.
Yeah, she's came off the bench and just been dynamite, an electric performance off the bench, and that's why you love having a young lady like that off the bench. I'm okay with that foul. A little bit of contact, but CC, good work, right? Hustling, working hard, trying to stay in front, and that might be where Coach Belton's, sort of going at the officials a little bit earlier might have gotten her that call, because that looked like pretty decent defense. That's okay.
Arrows showing a 2-3 on this inbound here. No problem for West Holmes getting the basketball in. The Arrows have a 7-point lead, just over 5 minutes to go. There's a ticky-tack one there, and that one's going to be called on Madison Hoffman. That'll be Hoffman's first foul of the day, and the Arrows 1 foul away from sending the Knights to the line for 2 here the rest of the way through. 4 team fouls for Ashland, 2 team fouls for West Holmes. Still in that 2-3 zone are the Arrows. Cameron Cox controlling the center. Good position there on Yoder. Going to kick it back out here. This is Jewel for a triple, no good. Knight hits the deck.
I think a little push in the back by Maddie on the backside.
And as mentioned, that foul is going to result in tosses here for the Knights. Briar Klein will be at the stripe.
Well, we haven't spent a whole lot of time at the Connery Manufacturing free throw line. The Arrows' first 4 points were there, though. We didn't make a basket for the first 4 or 5 minutes in the game.
Cameron Cox has spent quite a bit of time down there today for us. Maddie Hoffman now with 2 fouls.
Yeah, well, you got to be careful with that, right? We got a couple of us now with 2. Kennedy with 2. Got 5 minutes to go still here in the second quarter.
Briar Klein splits him, and Cameron Cox pulls that rebound down and
that's a foul.
Throws a 100-mile-an-hour heater down the right side, tracked down by Sturry.
Timeout on the floor. We'll take one as well. Back after this.
We're driving home in the best experience you've ever had with Chevrolet, Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram. Find the ride that defines you in our huge selection
of high-quality used cars and trucks is why you should check Bill Harris first. 3 brands, 3 convenient locations, 1 unforgettable Bill Harris experience. Dive into great prices, explore a better selection, and enjoy the best buying experience with us today. Bill Harris Dealerships, the name you know and trust. BillHarrisDealerships.com.
Bo Lacey Construction is proud to sponsor Arrows Athletics. Experience you can done right on time. From siding to windows, decks, and bathrooms, Bo Lacey also is your go-to company for all your roofing needs. Whether it's your house or your business, we got you covered. And don't forget to check out the new Hover 3D app so You can see what every exterior home project will look like when it's finished. Scan the QR code.
We're back. BW has got the voices of a front man for Low E because he is the front man for Low E, BW.
It's a myriad of responsibility.
Whoa. MYRIAD.
Yeah.
50 cent word.
Myriad frontmen.
Oh, great pass to the Mamba. Right to the rack off the Ward Real Estate Bank.
I know we're mid-play, but I had to show that one, Chris. That was just great ball movement on the outside. Green, Cox. I think it was Green to Cox to Lacey. Good job right there by the ladies.
Swing pass for the Knights. Here's a triple attempt, no good. And position A1A for Yoder on Green. And she throws it back up and in. That's now 6 points for Yoder.
You said it, the CBWard.com. Bank shot. For all your real estate needs, Coldwell Banker Real Estate right here in Ashland.
Mamba with a great pass underneath on the baseline. Triple for Maddie Hoffman. Go ahead and book that baby. That's 3 more for Hoffman. She's on fire. She's got 10 points.
Is that our first 3 of the ball game?
First BB&C Car Care triple tonight, courtesy of Maddie Hoffman.
Don't walk. Hurry on down to BB&C Car Care.
Don't wash your car right now, guys. It is frozen outside.
Oh,
Another
nice
steal.
crossover.
Here comes Maddie. She's going to lay it off the Ward Real Estate Bank for 2 more. Wow. Hoffman having a game. She's got 11. 2 arrows at the substitution station. That is Grace Tobias and Lainey McNamara getting ready to check in on the next stoppage.
It's a 24-5 run.
Yeah.
Just to be clear.
Pretty hot. Arrows having their way here in the second half.
Good hands by Cam right there, just knocking that one away. And I think that's going to be our turning point of the game thus far, Chris. Brought to you by Bo Lacey Construction. The turning point of the game, the Arrows down 12-4 and have turned this into a 24-5 run. Bo Lacey Construction will handle all your roofing, siding, deck, remodel, bath, window replacement needs. Experience you can trust, done right on time.
With offices in Ashland,
Circleville,
that's right. I was going to say Circleville. Karen Cox gets fouled in the act. That's 3 team fouls for West Holmes. Not quite a shooting foul. And how dare I not recognize
oh boy,
the
here
Sarver Paving student section. We got 5 cats right down there in the Sarver Paving student section.
Oh my, Chris.
Yeah, you got to turn the camera now. It's okay. You don't have to do it yet.
You're really
I'm pushing it.
Really pushing it. I got to tell you.
I'm pushing it. Look at this guy trying to work punches and controls.
I'm trying to watch the game. And
oh, Cameron Cox triple. Bucket. Arrows 31 in the Knights 17. The Arrows are owning the second quarter presented by Sprang Smith. And Cameron Cox is on fire. The young lady's got 11 to match Maddie Hoffman for the team lead. Nothing better when Mom's over there in the stands giving the field goal sign, the triple sign there. Over there in the home section. There's the boys. They're out watching the game. They're playing Fortnite on their phone and drinking a dew. 6 of the most faithful guys here. That's KOB in attendance right down there. All district-wide receiver and Arrow basketball player, Killian O'Brien.
You got to pay attention, though, guys. Come on.
You do. You might eat a basketball.
You know.
Look at that little back tap right there by Grace Tobias.
The ladies are going to watch this game back and go, you guys aren't even watching. What are you doing over there?
Yeah. You're going to send him a note and say, what are you? Oh, Cameron Cox for 2 more. That's 13 now for the big one down low. 13 points. Cox in the Arrows opening up a huge lead, 33 to 17.
29-5 run for the Arrows. 2 minutes and change to go here in the second quarter. And you're going to see Lauren Green and Brylan Madial check in.
It's so hot in Arrow Arena, Brandon. My monitor just fell down. The Arrow's just shooting the lights out. 2 minutes to go in the Sprang Smith second quarter. Maddie Hoffman, great job of maturity there. Pulls that basketball back out.
Yeah, it was. That was really smart.
3-ball. Tobias, no good, but Cameron Cox going to pull down that rebound. Arrow's playing really, really well right now. Baseline open. Madison Hoffman throws it up.
That one was a little out of control. Whereas the play before, she brought it back, and then that one got a little greedy. It happened. She's having a good night.
Little heat checker.
Little heat check, yeah. When you're feeling it, I understand. It's even happened to me a few times.
You know who it happened to about every game? I remember this because I watched this young guy play.
Well, then it's not getting hot. It's just who you are.
Ryan Burke.
Cox. You are
Turnaround Shay.
You are the worst.
I did it, so I covered you up.
You are the worst.
You didn't have to.
You're the worst.
Cameron Cox having a way tonight.
He had 9 points.
Was it really? That's
we
it?
lost 50-43. You know why we lost that game?
You didn't play.
No, well, yes, but that is a big portion of it because also our head coach decided to go against what we had done all year long, which was to trap, run, and gun, and scored 75 points a game. And he said, no, we're going to slow it down and play their style. And we lost. So it does.
You took a Tark offense and turned it into Jim Tressel style.
We scored 100 points in a high school game
man.
for a Division IV team.
Not smart.
And yeah. I've let it go. You just got to keep bringing it up.
I do.
Hey, look, it wasn't me that lost. I didn't play in that game.
Laney McNamara picks up that foul. That's her first. Arrows more than doubling up the Knights, 35-17. Hey, stick around at halftime. No jazz band today, but we'll have the Wickham and Hess halftime guest
we'll
here.
Have some jazz.
We will not tell you who it is. I will just say that Grandma Swaysgood will be quite happy, and so will Mr. and Mrs. Archer.
Professional basketball player.
It's not these two knuckleheads talking in the headsets, I promise you that.
Bunch of knuckleheads.
35-18.
That's
Ashland.
terrible. That's terrible. Bunch of knuckleheads up here.
Ashland gives away right there, and no good off the bottom of the glass.
Good D by Laney McNamara. Nice play right there. Good effort. The senior guard.
Turnover there for Ashland, and Knights coming back the other way. Dribbled it right off her foot. Josie Van Tilburg picks it up for Ashland. I think she got away with one right there, BW.
Maybe.
And another one.
Not going to get away with that one.
Got away with one, not two.
Yeah, I think the official said, yeah, I got to call that one.
Since substitution, CC Sturry checks back in for Josie Van Tilburg.
This is a game where, you're playing on Saturday, I think, against Worcester, right?
Yeah.
We're at Worcester Saturday. So, if you can get a decent lead here in the second half, you'll have an opportunity to get your girls a little bit of rest. You played Monday. You played Saturday. So you've had a lot of games here. So this is one where also part of why you're seeing Coach Holt and company use their bench and use the rotation. It's a good opportunity now to get these girls some rest and not overplay them.
20 seconds to go in the Sprang-Smith second quarter. There's a triple again. Madia skies and doesn't get it, but CC Sturry.
Great effort.
Fabulous effort. If we hadn't given away, I'm going to give away the hustle play of the game right there. Good job by CC. Give it away twice. Why not?
Yeah, I'm all right with that. It's been a lot of hustle. When you're up 17 and still working hard, I love it. I do love the approach that CC has on the defensive side and crashing the glass. Well, she plays hard. She plays hard. She plays so hard that when she comes out, she's tired. Yep, they ran right through a screen, and they got away with that one.
McNamara off the glass doesn't get that one to go, but the Arrows take a 35-18 halftime lead into the locker room. BW, quick thoughts.
Listen, I think you had a fantastic finish. You were down 12-4, and all of a sudden you went crazy and went 31-6. I mean, that was a 31-6 run to end the half.
Jeez.
They showed their maturity, right? You got down, you didn't panic, and you let this group that's been together for a while kind of figure it out. So I'm impressed with the maturity.
Come on back here with our Wickham and Hess halftime guest right after this.
Simonson Construction is proud to sponsor Arrows Athletics, the most trusted and efficient construction company in the region. With a long history of doing things the right way from concept to completion, Simonson Construction solves all your construction needs for commercial and public projects. A truly local company providing award-winning comprehensive design-build services since 1974. For more information, scan the QR code or go to simonsonconstruction.com. Come visit the South Street Grill in downtown Ashland, the official lunch location every Friday night during the Arrows football season. You can catch all the action in the bar area on the big screens. Elevated casual dining in downtown Ashland, steaks, seafood, hand-patted burgers, vegetarian options, salads, and a huge kids menu. Something for everyone in a completely renovated, historic building. South Street Grill, your home for Arrows football.
Players dealerships where great prices meet an even better selection. We're driving home the best experience you've ever had. With Chevrolet, Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram, find the ride that defines you. And our huge selection of high-quality used cars and trucks is why you should check Bill Harris first. 3 brands, 3 convenient locations, 1 unforgettable Bill Harris experience. Dive into great prices, explore a better selection, and enjoy the best buying experience with us today. Bill Harris Dealerships, the name you know and trust. BillHarrisDealerships.com.
Bo Lacey Construction is proud to sponsor Arrows Athletics. Experience you can trust done right on time. From siding to windows, decks, and bathrooms, Bo Lacey also is your go-to company for all your roofing needs. Whether it's your house or your business, we've got you covered. And don't forget to check out the new Hover 3D app so you can see what every exterior home project will look like when it's finished. Scan the QR.
We're driving home the best experience you've ever had. With Chevrolet, Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram, find the ride that defines you. And our huge selection of high-quality used cars and trucks is why you should check Bill Harris first. 3 brands, 3 convenient locations, 1 unforgettable Bill Harris experience. Dive into great prices, explore a better selection, and enjoy the best buying experience with us today. Bill Harris Dealerships, the name you know and trust. BillHarrisDealerships.com.
Simonson Construction is proud to sponsor Arrows Athletics, the most trusted and efficient construction company in the region. With a long history of doing things the right way from concept to completion, Simonson Construction solves all your construction needs for commercial and public projects. A truly local company providing award-winning comprehensive design-build services since 1974. For more information, scan the QR code or go to simonsonconstruction.com. Come visit the South Street Grill in downtown Ashland, the official watch location every Friday night during the Arrows football season. You can catch all the action in our area on.
Welcome back to Arrow Arena. The Arrows on top of the Knights, 35-18. We're joined by our Wickham and Hess halftime guest, soon-to-be Hall of Famer at Ashland University and former West Home Knight, Lena Snyder. Thanks for coming on.
Hi, good to be here.
Yeah, it's absolutely. We saw you down there, and Brandon's like, hey, Kurt, there's Lena. And I'm like, where at? I didn't see it. And then I said, oh, why not? We'll just ask her to come on.
Yeah,
Here she is.
I had just said, I wonder if Kurt and Shane and Lena are watching. And, tell us what you've been up to. Tell folks out there what you're doing nowadays.
Yeah, well, we were just over at the AU game, so catching them. Yeah, they beat Hillsdale tonight, so
awesome.
We were a little late to the game, but catching up with everyone. I've been playing overseas since 2019. Did a couple of years in Europe, and now I've headed back down to New Zealand. I just came from New Zealand, and now I'll start a season in March in Australia.
So what kind of team do you have? Who plays with you? Are they all Americans? Is it a mix? What do you got?
Yeah, it's a mix. So there's usually anywhere from 2 to 5 imports is what we're called per team.
There's no tariff on you, though.
No.
Okay,
Not
good.
Tariffs. So there's 2 to 5 depending on the league. So every league has its own rules, and so we come over there, and then the teams are different everywhere I go. So if I go to another country, it's a different team.
Okay.
I've played on different teams within the same country, so just moving around a bit.
That's awesome.
How does that work when you go from like Germany to Austria to New Zealand? Like, does somebody trade your rights, or how does that work?
So I have an agent that I work with, but most of the contracts I've gotten in the last 3 or 4 years have just all been from connections that I've made throughout the journey. So
relationships matter, right?
The longer you're in it, the more people you meet. So the coach that I'm going to be playing for in Australia was actually a coach in New Zealand that I played against. So now just making new connections. And
you hoping to play for forever? How long are you hoping to play? Because it's pretty amazing. Not that many folks get to play professional basketball, right? And it's because you've worked so hard. How long are you hoping to play?
I've always just said until I don't find the joy in it anymore.
Yeah.
So, and as long as my body holds up. So,
you've been healthy?
Yeah, for the most part. Yeah. Obviously a few things here and there, but nothing too major. But but yeah. So just until I don't find the joy in it anymore, it's given me a great lifestyle that I can live, and very much enjoy it.
What have you learned about the world? This is a big question. This is like a dad question, right? What have you learned about the world traveling the globe playing basketball? What has surprised you?
I would say all over the world, we're all still the same. Like we all have different customs, we have different traditions, we have even sometimes different values. But at this end of the day, we're all just people living in the world for the first time and doing our best with what we have. So it's been really cool to meet other people, gain new perspectives. You always just see different ways of life and way to live. And you take everything you learn and you make it into how you want to live your life.
Did you ever think growing up in Millersburg, Ohio, right? I mean, that you would end up playing basketball around the world? Was that like a dream as a kid?
No, it was never a dream. And actually, it was never, I didn't even want to play in college.
Wow.
But I saw my sister play and have such a good experience at Malone that then I wanted to play. So then came and got to hang out with Renee for a little bit at Ashland. And then Carrie Pickens played in Australia. So then she kind of just sparked that interest. And then, here I am.
So let's turn back to your times in the OCC. So we have my little nephew on. He's 4 years old. His name is Hudson, and he's like the biggest Little Los Arrows fan is what we say. And he comes on, he puts a headset on, he joins Brandon and I and talks. It's fun. Well, his mom, Morgan, is in the same graduating class as Lena.
Okay.
And they played, you remember going to Ashland in junior high school, and you would play where the stage was up top and the gym was disgusting and it was really bad. Well, I didn't go to that game. My wife, Tara, and brother-in-law, Shane, went. And they said, and my wife, Tara, was late to the game, and her brother says, oh, they already called a timeout. What do you mean? It's less than a minute, and you guys were up like 20-0. Ashland couldn't get the ball over half court.
Oh, boy.
And I think you probably had 6 or 8 or 10 of those points like right away, and I'm like, geez, out Pete. But that's what Millersburg basketball was West Holmes basketball was dating back to Lisa Klein and 100 and whatever games in a row, and then you've carried that lineage on. What was it like growing up, kind of in that pressure cooker of West Holmes, and then obviously going to AU, it was magnified, right?
Yeah.
And, I'm sure your time growing up in Millersburg and whatnot kind of taught you what that was like.
Yeah, I mean, I think a little part of me is why I didn't want to play in college, because it was just so much from so early on that I was like, I just want to live my life and enjoy my life. And now, I mean, I'm lucky that I get to enjoy my life all over the world through basketball. And I think eventually I saw
what it could bring.
What it could bring. And so once I saw how much joy it can bring just within the basketball, led me to be able to enjoy the process of it and that pressure and everything. But I think just knowing that, I had some great teammates in that middle school, that 7th grade, 8th grade, whatever it was. We had a really good team, and I had really good teammates, really good coaches. And I think I've just been, it's been really great to have such great teammates and coaches throughout my career that have been able to keep the joy in it. And
You've been fortunate to play for some great folks. Speaking of coaching, we won't keep you much longer. I know you want to watch the second half. Your sister coaching this West Holmes squad. What's the breakdown? How's she doing? Are you interested in coaching?
So I've been here since Christmas, so I've been going to every practice, and I play at the practices and then coach kind of from the inside there. So it kind of gives the coaching staff a different perspective that I'm on the court. And so it's been fun.
You probably got to tone it down quite a bit.
I'm just bigger than them, and I'm used to playing a lot in a
more physical.
So, but just trying to make them a bit tougher and make them play a bit faster. So we'll see how they do in the second half.
It was really great having you. It was awesome coming on.
Thank
and
you
good
so
catching
much.
up with you, and good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you.
All right.
Appreciate
West
it.
Holmes and Ashland getting ready to start the third period. We'll be right back right after this with the third period. Back underway here, 35-18 again. Ashland leads West Holmes. That was really cool, PW, going down a memory lane trail and soon-to-be Hall of Famer at AU,
that was cool.
Snyder.
Yeah, I had the fortune of calling her record-breaking basket and points to become the all-time leading scorer at Ashland University, which was amazing, and to be a part of the broadcast crew for calling their national championship runs and being part of that, and under Coach Freilich and company, and it was a pleasure to have her here and for her to see and talk to us about what she's learned traveling the globe, and for a kid from Millersburg, Ohio, to be able to do what she's been able to do for the last however long has just been amazing.
Sturry catches no iron there. I'll tell you, she's a celebrity. She walks out of the perch of the Pre-Stone broadcast booth, and she has to shake about 30 hands. It's amazing.
It's pretty great, yeah. It has to make her feel good, right?
Yeah.
The smile on her face. I mean, and she's such a good person. Like, I spent time with them on the road, and just such a nice human being.
I've never seen her not have a smile on her face. Obviously, competing's one thing, but just in general, she's just a good person. Lacey, nice steal there. Tobias doesn't catch it, but Cox, another big rebound, doesn't get it to go. Stuck on 35-18 here. 6 minutes, 56 seconds to go in the Sprang-Smith third quarter. Somebody's going to get a basket here eventually.
It'll happen, I promise.
That was a charge not called, I have to promise you. Cameron Cox went. They call that one thing. I can't call it this thing that I was thinking on air, but we'll just say she ended up on her backside. Gosh, I can't believe I went there. What a knucklehead. 35-18, Ashland leads West Holmes. Apologies to Lena. I called it Millersburg.
Oh, well, I mean, listen, that was fine.
Yeah.
Good job by Grace
I thought
Tobias.
she was catching that, kind of let it go from Antarctica.
That was close, yeah. Grace Tobias is such a glue piece of this team, and I will tell you, and good job by Kennedy, but I will tell you, as somebody who is a similar player myself, I could score if I needed to, but I didn't have to with the people around me, and you got to recognize the players around you, and I think she knows her role better than maybe anybody else on the floor. And that is something that is invaluable. You need players like that.
I don't think there's too many better compliments you can pay somebody, and Lacey gets the first one to go with the Counter Manufacturing Stripe. But when you tell somebody they're the glue, that's a big deal, and that's a huge compliment, whether that be in a relationship or life or,
Boy, that's a good
your faith or whatever it is, man. That is meaning you're doing things right and people on the outside recognize it.
Yeah, I mean, and that's what her role is, right? And if you're a young kid watching basketball out there and watching some of these games, and the more glamorous parts are the scoring and and some of those things, but what you see out there from her is just pure love of basketball and her teammates and the way she plays, and that's how you want your kids to play basketball.
Lacey, little stop and pop, goes up in the lane, gets it to go. Lacey quickly has all 4 for the Arrows, 12 points now.
Such great hesitation and nice job right there.
Here comes West Holmes back the other way. They have had back-to-back turnovers. Here's a triple, no good. Cameron Cox, right spot. Nice box out, and she pulls that rebound down. Here comes Sturry back the other way for Ashland. 39-18, the Arrows on top of the Knights.
Well, good look inside. Cam just couldn't catch it the first time.
Lacey, how strong is that young lady? Has hands all over on the basketball as well, able to fight through and get another goal. 14 now for the Mamba.
I'm convinced Kennedy could probably play varsity football.
There's no doubt.
I'm convinced.
She would smoke somebody.
Yeah, I'm not saying I want her to because I don't want her to get hurt.
No. She used to play in junior high. Did you know that? Yeah.
I know she did, yep.
Nice job of a what? Fake? A pump fake.
Hey, that's just great basketball play right there inside by Greta Rollins. Yeah, the pump fake is still valuable. She's got 7.
Yep, 7 points already. We got a timeout on the floor. 30-second variety. We'll keep it right here. Head coach Lindsey Belden, formerly Lindsey Snyder, 4-year player at Malone in her 8th season. Before she took over the head coaching duties, she was a 2-year assistant. And Renee Holt, they all know each other. Let's be honest. It was formerly Renee Stempert in her playing days at Ashland University. And obviously you heard Lena talk about Coach Holt and her playing time with her. And obviously Coach Belden was in attendance for a lot of those games as well. It's pretty cool when you kind of have all these interconnected spider webs, if you will.
Yeah, the basketball world gets small, pretty quickly, and particularly I think on the, whether you're on the guys' side or the girls' side, and Josie Van Tilburg is going to have to get attended to right now quickly for maybe a bleeding or has an earring in or something. I'm not sure, but Lainey McNamara are going to check in.
Yeah, the senior going to check in here for Josie Van Tilburg, and I think you called it, BW. I think it is an earring.
Well, she's fortunate that we didn't get a technical foul because that is a you can get a T for that.
We saw that in the guys' game earlier this year. I think we had some cubic zirconias. Triple from McNamara.
Oh.
Just about got that one to go. The Arrows fighting really hard for that rebound, but here comes Zelena Proper, left hand up and in. That's West Holmes' first their second field goal.
And then
Stepped over the
turnover.
line.
Yeah, you got to be careful here coming out. In the first couple minutes, we have not looked super sharp here. It's easy, you know, after going on a 31-6 run to end the first half to kind of lighten up. You got to know they've ran that play all day long into the corner. It's America's play, and we have given it up every time. So if I saw that on tape as an opponent, I would be running that play until they learned how to stop it. Great job by Kennedy Lacey, though, attacking the basket.
16 for the Mamba. 43-22 lead for Ashland. 21 points here. Advantage. Here's a triple for the Knights. No good. And that rebound back tapped. Cameron Cox is a good spot. I think Kennedy Lacey might have caught it right in the face as well. Mamba's fine. She's back down the other way. Madison Hoffman running point here for the Arrows.
Nice high post pass by Laney. Good job. You rip through and square up. She walked with it. I think she might have moved her pivot foot. Yeah, no argument right there. Grace Tobias going to check back in with a Sid Sud substitution, and Lauren Green will take a seat. Lauren scoreless as so far. How about her and Cece haven't scored? Neither has Grace. But you got Kennedy with 16 and Cam with 14. And then Madison basically with the rest.
And it's not forced. It's not like everybody's taking the same shots. It's just fine.
Yeah, Madison's got 11. I mean, you've got 3 girls in double figures.
Look, we called these games last year, and we were saying, where's the bench points? Well, you got 11 plus off the bench today.
Oh, what a pass. Chris, that was a fantastic pass, just not caught inside. Jewel Brown, I want you to see this lob. Lobbed it in and just dropped underneath, but what a look inside. We'll take a break and be back after this.
Simonson Construction is proud to sponsor Arrows Athletics, the most trusted and efficient construction company in the region. With a long history of doing things the right way, from concept to completion, Simonson Construction solves all your construction needs for commercial and public projects. A truly local company providing award-winning comprehensive design-build services since 1974. For more information, scan the QR code or go to simonsonconstruction.com. Come visit the South Street Grill in downtown Ashland, the official watch location every Friday night during the Arrows football season. You can catch all the action of our area on the big screens. Elevated casual dining in downtown Ashland, steaks, seafood, hand patty burgers, vegetarian option salad, and a huge kids menu. Something for everyone in a completely renovated, historic building. South Street Grill, your home for Arrows.
Oh boy, the crowd cam. Dr. Metzger over there looking like he just got told the world's greatest joke. The mayor's over there holding court. You see the Sturries there. Great golfer, Jimmy Nordstrom there up at the top of Arrow Arena on the top rafter was a heck of a golfer.
Look, you're never safe here anymore.
That's a fact.
You're never safe from the crowd cam.
Nice.
And when it becomes a 20-point game, that's when I started getting interested in. Great job by Kennedy of putting that back in, attacking the boards. She's so valuable inside.
She's got 18, not a very common number. What's the best number 18 professionally that comes to mind?
Daryl Strawberry?
No, he could have been. Coke got in the way, let's be honest.
Coca-Cola?
No. No.
Coke and a smile?
No, slinging 8 balls. He was a problem. He would have been a surefire Hall of Famer if he was on this. Doc Gooden, too, 16.
16.
He was amazing.
I'm sure McElfresh will tell us a good number 18, but I can't. He's the first one that came to mind was Straw.
It's not a very common number. You could go Peyton Manning.
Oh yeah.
At Tennessee, but it wasn't professional. We said it's got to be a pro.
What did he wear in the pros?
16.
No, you got it backwards.
I do. You're right. 18. I'm going Peyton Manning.
Thank you.
I had it right, but then I talked myself out of it.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Yoder picks up that foul or that shot, and she'll go to the stripe for one more. Foul was on Lainey McNamara, her second. Yoder now with 8 points. Home crowd letting everybody know what they thought about those calls. The crowd might have picked it up.
Maybe a little bit.
Yeah, you're up 21 points, guys. Well, we haven't got a text from Mac yet. I'm going to go Peyton Manning.
Disappointed that Mac's not listening.
Oh, he's watching.
You know, you could ask ChatGPT. It'll tell you.
Nah, I don't like ChatGPT.
Well, why
Takes
not?
all the fun out of it.
ChatGPT's amazing.
Oh, let's be honest. Mac's at the AU game.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Madison Hoffman skies for that board, tries to take it out, gets it stolen back by Proper.
Yeah, Proper's a nice little player. I mean, she's played well and played hard. Averages 6 points a game. That left-handed stroke. She just hasn't gotten those threes to fall for her. She's got a good stroke, though.
Good pressure defense here by the Arrows. Good
Nice
job
take.
good job by both players. Lauren Green falling off of her man and then trying to get a hand up there. That goal is converted. 26 points now for the Knights. Whoa, Mamba down hard. She fine.
She is fine.
She tough.
Another look out in the crowd.
You got more, well, sorry folks, I don't know anybody in that shot.
Oh, we got to find some more folks.
Folks that I know?
I thought you knew everybody.
I know a lot.
If this was the Dale.
Let's get Schwartz. Schwartz Sr. and Schwartz Jr. Right there, Schwartz. And there is
his lovely wife, Lynette, with him.
Yeah, she's going to text you later. Don't put me on this stinking stream, guys. Under a minute 40 to go in the
20-point game. People, look, you've got as ADHD of a person as possible in me up here just running cameras for fun.
I bet the superintendent's on his way back listening to this thinking, what did I get myself into?
How did I let these guys on my YouTube page? Questioning his contract at the board level because he let us on the air.
45-26. Aunt Katie, I know you appreciate it, and thanks for tuning in. 1 minute, 25 seconds to go in the Spring Smith third quarter. 19-point Ashland lead.
Oh, wow.
Been the story of Cameron Cox and the Mamba today. They've been in Madison Hoffman. Don't let me forget her. They've all got double figures and handling most of the scoring. Here's a triple by West Holmes McMillan. No good. Good job by Cameron not fouling right there.
Yeah, and then Lauren Green came over to help, and I think she's going to pick up the foul.
That'll be Lauren's second foul tonight.
There's Papa Schwartz.
Yeah, that's who I was looking for. Ooh, Jeff Gerhardt, legend basketball player here at the park.
I've played a little basketball with Mr. Gerhardt.
That's Gerhardt. You get him and Howard on a 2v2 game, Howard Householder, look out.
Oh, my.
We ought to get the superintendent on and let him tell some Howard stories.
By the way, congratulations to Dave and Donna Schwartz for 50 years.
Oh,
that's
the
his
Schwartzes for 50 years is incredible.
If you don't. So, Chris.
You're going to break it?
No,
Okay.
I won't.
All right.
Donna and Dave Schwartz. And oh, Dave's sister is up there as well.
It's a clan reunion.
Be careful about that.
Schwartz.
The Schwartz clan, yes.
Yep.
You got to be careful.
Well, no one would have thought anything about it, as I didn't mean anything by it, but you had to try to find the craziness in that.
Who's
1 minute to go.
Zooming out on that camera. They're doing a great job.
Yeah, it's you. You wear many hats here, my friend. 45-27, Ashland leads West Holmes. 1 minute even. Oh, what are you doing?
Up here in the Priest Dental broadcast booth. Oh, goodness. We're having too much fun today.
We really do a pretty good job when it's a good game and a tight game. This is like baseball games. When it gets like 7-1 in the sixth, forget it.
Yeah, forget it.
Forget it.
Forget it.
On the floor for the Arrows, Lauren Green, Hoffman, Tobias, Lacey, and Cox. Under a minute to go in the Spring Smith third quarter. Arrows handling business here in the second quarter and the third quarter. It was a little rough there to start in the first quarter.
Yeah, I mean, West Holmes has hung around here in the third quarter and kept it competitive. It's not out of the realm. You're up 18.
Triple. Hoffman, side, no good. Good shot, good stroke. Great rebound by Lauren Green. Hoffman gonna let it go from the elbow. Rattle, 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 no good. Good rebound by West Holmes Rollins. 30 seconds to go in the third quarter. West Holmes running. Yoder got it in the low post, but she's trapped. Here's a triple by McMillan.
Now we're lucky because we didn't close out well there. We kind of jogged out to the corner, didn't put our hands up.
Tobias wide open, triple. Great job by Hoffman with the rebound.
Got to use the backboard that close. Got to use the cbward.com and the Ward.
Here's a toss by
Oh,
Klein.
boy. All right.
That would have counted had it win. Arrows up, 45-27. Come on back.
Players Dealerships, where great prices meet an even better selection. We're driving home the best experience you've ever had. With Chevrolet, Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram, find the ride that defines you. And our huge selection of high-quality used cars and trucks is why you should check Bill Harris first. 3 brands, 3 convenient locations, 1 unforgettable Bill Harris experience. Dive into great prices, explore a better selection, and enjoy the best buying experience with us today. Bill Harris Dealerships, the name you know and trust. BillHarrisDealerships.com.
We back. And the crowd cam in action. And we've got another sighting of the Sturries, thanks to their support. The Coxes, thanks for their support. Everybody else who makes these broadcasts possible. BW, we couldn't do it without these fine people here locally that support us and support Aero Athletics.
Oh, listen, I love Ashland. I didn't grow up here, Chris. I grew up in Cuyahoga Falls, the mean streets of Cuyahoga Falls up in Summit County. But this has become my hometown, and I love it here, and there are just some amazing people. It's not a perfect town, right? Like, there is no such thing, but it is a great place to live and raise a family. And we are thankful for all of our sponsors and our friends and family out there as well.
Lauren Green was our AHS player profile. She likes the carnivore diet. It's her favorite food, steak, just in case you were wondering there. And Lauren, a senior, been a member of the basketball squad here for a long time, and going to be heading off to college to get into radiation services.
Courtesy of Andrew Bush Law Offices for all your law needs here in the Ashland region. 33 years.
No, number 33 with a foul. Sorry, I set you up there. No, Andrew Bush isn't much older than 33, man. Yeah, I don't know if he's 40 yet.
I'm sorry, Mr.
No, that
Mr.
was my fault. I was giving you the universal sign for the player foul.
I actually haven't met Andrew in person.
He's a good dude.
Yeah,
he's a real good boy.
I need to get my will done. I need to go talk with him.
Yeah, he'd be the right guy to go see. And
because at some point everybody dies.
Well, not you. You're immortal.
Hey, I listen. I will live.
You're like Thanos, man. You get all 5 rings and you just live forever. The stones in the hand.
I've never watched a Marvel or DC movie in my life.
Seriously?
Correct.
Oh man, there's some fantastic movies. They've well, that's a license we hold at Hedstrom, and it's a pretty darn good one to say the least. Steal by Tobias, and Hoffman going to go right to the rack. That one jarred out of her hand. I think Maddie was looking for a foul, and West Holmes has a runner. Mamba comes in there late and body checks her. Nothing egregious.
Fourth quarter brought to you by Comfort Control. For all your heating and cooling needs, check out Comfort Control, providing the best comfort for residential and commercial customers for more than 40 years.
You know, it's cold outside, but the PGA Tour's back. The unit had a 63 today. Ludwig Eberg.
I thought you were talking about Randy Johnson.
No, he's old.
That's why I was confused.
Ludwig is a golfing machine. He's my early pick to win the Masters.
Well, you can probably watch that in the bar at South Street. You can watch all the Arrows athletics, including tonight's basketball game at South Street Grill.
And you can watch some highlight passes there from the Mamba off to Cameron Cox. I think she'd like to have that one back. That was close to going down.
Most of the first 2 quarters, other than the first 4 or 5 minutes, like from then on, Arrows played really well. Third quarter was kind of a wash. Arrows 10, West Holmes 9.
Well, the Arrows most likely going to improve to 8-0 in the OCC, and they've got a Komodo dragon grip on the conference this year.
Don't count your chickens before they hatch.
I'm not counting anything. I'm just giving you the reality. First conference title potentially in 30 years to the day almost.
Well, we still got to take care of New Philly this week. Worcester and New Philly, but a chance to clinch this week. New Philly taking on Madison this week.
And you'll be back on the call with that New Philly game next Thursday.
Yep, Dave Swartz will join me, and I don't know, we'll see. Maybe one of my ex-high school teammates going to come and join.
Oh, that's cool. That'd be fun.
Matt Giovanini, who played his basketball at Bellarmine and then at Malone, finished up at Malone.
Ooh, D1 player.
Bellarmine was D2 at the time.
Oh, they were.
But had some D1 looks. But, the coach at Bellarmine when Matt was there was Bobby Valvano.
Ooh, Jimmy V's son?
Jimmy's brother.
Yep,
Jimmy's brother. He came to our locker room a couple times. I'll have to have Matt tell that story.
That'd be fantastic. Lauren Green, today's player profile. Focus gets her first 2 to go, and the Arrows have a 20-point lead. I'll tell you, there's 2 things that every high schooler or every person should read every year and watch. One is you should be required to watch the Valvano speech.
Don't give up. Don't ever give up.
And 2, you should read every year the Perry Reese article in Sports Illustrated. That's my teaching for the day.
Thank you very much.
Both of those will make you a better hombre.
Great job breaking that pressure. Oh, nice look by Grace. A little too unselfish, though. I think on that one she should finish, and I think that's what Maddie's telling her right there. Hey, just go ahead and finish that on the left because they're going to drop off of you. If you don't make that defender commit on a 2-on-1 and they don't commit to you, you got to go all the way to the basket.
I'm going to ask Renee in the postgame if she went Dread Renee. Remember we talked about that last year?
Oh, yeah.
If she went Dread Renee and showed up to practice like that one of these days.
I remember when that happened when I was calling the games. It was great. Yeah.
She was good.
I was on the call for her game at Grand Valley where she went crazy and helped us beat them in overtime. That was one of the highlights of my broadcasting career was calling that game.
That's a bomb by Briar Klein. A triple converted and a 17-point lead for the Arrows.
She's got 9. Klein right about at her average, and Green is going to walk with it. Got a little too excited. It's still 17-point game. They've just hung around since we had that run. Arrows.
Lacey checks back in. Sid Sudd substitution checks in for Cameron Cox. Lead ballooned up to 21-22, down to 17 here, 5:18 to go. Comfort control fourth quarter.
Brandon Wells and Chris Mowry up here in the Priest Dental broadcast booth up here high above Ashland Arrow Arena, behind the scores table. Legendary Dan Chandler fighting through bronchitis.
What?
Come and call the game.
Triple here again for West Holmes. Had that one went, that lead now is 14, and you got a ball game.
Yeah, it's hard. You know, you had such a great run to end the first half and then kind of took the foot off the gas, and there's a timeout on the floor by Coach Belton. And it's a 30-second timeout. You take your foot off the gas a little bit, and that happens, you know.
While we were pontificating about a lot of nothing, Kennedy Lacey picked up her 4th foul now. So she's got 4, Brandon, to go along with her 18. And Cameron Cox just went to the check-in station, Sid Sudd's check-in station. I think she's coming back in the contest. Lacey may be taking a seat here for a minute.
That's probably wise. You know, give her a little rest. I think that's smart. You know, Coach Holt, I'll tell you what, she's become a really good coach down there with this squad. And, you know, coming out of college as a superstar and, you know, a really all-American style level of player. It's hard.
And a young woman.
And a young woman. It's hard to make that transition. You know, I made that transition at 23 to being a head coach at the varsity level when you had kids that are, that are in your kind of your generation, your age group, you know.
Yeah.
Coaching kids that are 18 and 19, and it's hard. And she has really grown and figured it out and doing a great job here.
Brown going to trigger it in here for West Holmes. They do just that. Briar Klein's got a wide open triple. Doesn't get it to go, but Brown, right spot, pulls that rebound down for another possession for West Holmes. Look at Yoder working hard down low.
The pitfall of the zone is that if you don't find a body and put a body on somebody.
Good job, CC Sturry. Excellent job of working. Give it up 7 or 8 inches down low.
Cam got that rebound and then brought the ball down, and they take it from her. You know, that's where, you know, against good teams and against gritty teams, you can't do that. You got to keep the ball up. Got to keep it at the chin.
Chin it, as you say.
Chin it. You can have the elbows out. I'm not telling you to elbow anybody or hurt anybody, but you have your elbows out for protection.
CC looking to get it over half court. Gets it over to
there
Green.
It is.
Here we are.
Good look.
Now the Arrows have numbers.
There's no hurry here. There's no shot clock. Oh, nice move.
Ooh,
wow.
Nelly. Not only a spinner, but a left-handed finish.
That's one of the best pieces of footwork I've seen from Cam Cox in the years that she's been here. And that was a great move to the basket and a finish with the left hand.
Cox now has 16 to go, along with a handful of rebounds. Played really, really well. A few steals to go along. A couple assists. Had a really, really good all-around game tonight. Arrows open up a 19-point lead. Less than 4 minutes to play here in the fourth quarter.
Kind of a tough decision on player of the game.
Well, that's why I give it to you.
Well, you know, we also don't want to give it to the same person all the time. You know, who have we given it to so far?
Kennedy has had, I think she, like Pax Ediger, could buy between the two of them, they could probably buy Applebee's.
Well, our thanks to Truax Printing for sponsoring our player of the game for all your printing needs. You are correct. And also over to our friends at Applebee's over on Claremont.
We give away an Applebee's gift card to the player of the game, both on the boys' side and the girls' side, which is really cool of them to do. Partner with us here in the Ashland Arrows Broadcasting Network, presented by Sarver Paving.
Go.
And the Arrows have numbers, and the Mamba dishes off to Cameron Cox, converted 18 points now for the junior Cox.
Sarver Paving replay, if it keeps up with it, just a tremendous job. And that's that 2-on-1 we were talking about. Kennedy drives to the basket, and it makes the defender commit before she lobs it over on the backside.
Fabulous give and go right there. Goal not able to be converted. Madison Hoffman with numbers. The Arrow driving to the lane, off the glass. Count that one. 53 points now for the Arrows, and Hoffman's got 13.
And she's played well the last couple of games, and coming off that bench, such a spark, and she still plays key minutes. It doesn't matter if you start, right? It just matters the minutes that you play and the critical times and when you're in there and what you do when you are in there with those minutes. Starting is overrated, Chris.
I wouldn't know. Not because of the reason you're thinking. My first game I ever played in 7th grade. The coach, we went into the science room at Drumsville Middle School, and that's where we had our team meeting, in science room, right? And he got up there on the chalkboard. You know, you remember you used to write with the chalk and it'd screech, and this guy's writing. Here's Hoffman for a triple from the side wing, doesn't get it to go. Arrow's still fighting for rebounds, up 23. And he writes the starters up there, and he put my name, and I said, I'm starting? And he goes, yeah, why wouldn't you? And I said, I don't know, it's first game. I didn't know who the starters were. You never told us all the way through practice. So we go to our first game, and we find out who's starting. And my goodness, what a mess that was.
I think in 7th and 8th grade, I started every game, and then it was a rude awakening when I got to high school, and I had switched from the public school district in Cuyahoga Falls over to the academy. And I didn't make the team as a freshman. And, you know, there wasn't a freshman team. They just had a JV and a varsity.
Okay.
But what it did was I mean, to be honest, it pissed me off.
Sure it did.
And so I went out and I worked hard. And I think what I learned was not to rest on natural ability. And I got that lesson that way. And sometimes you have to get that lesson that way. And for young folks, you know, that's an opportunity. The next year, I was a JV MVP, and then, you know, went on to play varsity ball as well. But yeah, there are some lessons to be learned. I think sometimes you learn more from losing or getting cut or you know, not having as big of a role. If you allow yourself, you know, to work through adversity and to overcome those things instead of quitting.
We've subbed out both teams, and the reserves are on for the Arrows and the Knights. 23-point Ashland lead, 18 points for the Mamba, 18 points for Cameron Cox, 13 points tonight for Madison Hoffman. Wow, 3 ladies really controlled the way here on the scoreboard for Ashland inside Arrow Arena, and Arrow's going to come away with their 8th win inside the OCC tonight.
And their 8th win in a row, right?
Yeah, 8th win in a row, and what is this now? 11 out of 13. Fantastic. Maudia, good job of being in position, gets that rebound, goes back up.
Emma Puckett almost got that 3 to fall from the wing. Was in there for the first time. I've seen her at the varsity level this year. Bailey Hartman in there as well. Some JV swing players.
Lainey McNamara on the floor, Josie Van Tilburg on the floor. Maudia's first attempt from the stripe, up and good. That's her first point of the night.
And I think if you're Bryland, you're probably a little disappointed or frustrated you're not getting a ton of minutes, and that's natural. But you got, you know, some girls in front of you that are, you know, are really good. And, you know, you also have to stay ready. It's next man up, and so you got to take these opportunities to play when you do get in for 2 minutes, not as garbage time. You got to take this, you know, seriously, so that you're ready. I mean, what happens if somebody goes down and gets hurt? Or
well, we
gets
watched that in the beginning of the season.
Right, exactly. And she played well in those minutes early on. So it's an important time for these girls to get out there and get some time. You know?
I think the highlight of the show early in the season for the viewers was, what are those guys going to say for the Goldberry Roasting injury report? Like, is everybody finally back? And we finally have seen that. These guys are healthy now, or the ladies are healthy now, and you see the results, 11 out of 13 when they get a full roster.
Pete and Doug Cooper got their money's worth on the Goldberry injury report early on in the season, there's no doubt.
They're pretty happy to be joining us, and we thank them for that. That is off the glass by Lily Brown and converted her first bucket of the day. 20-point lead for Ashland. Brown will be looking to cut it to 19 at the stripe.
I think our player of the game's going to be probably Cam Cox.
All right.
I think that's who our Truax printing play, full-service commercial printing for all of your Ashland and Loudonville needs and worldwide.
Well deserved.
Great job.
Well deserved. Cox had her season high 18 was nowhere close to her career high. Van Tilburg with a triple. Go ahead and give that to her. That triple converted. BB&C Car Care 3 for Van Tilburg's first goal of the night.
Good job. Way to fire. That's a nice shot right there.
You remember that we were on the call last year. Cam Cox had 31 and like 30 boards or something. It was crazy.
One of the best individual performances we've seen by an Arrow on
Ever.
either the boys or girls side. It doesn't matter. That was a outstanding effort. That put her on the map last year, no doubt.
That was as equally impressive as, I know I say this all the time, and it's not an Arrow, but what happened inside this building was Bruscotter's 53. Both those performances were amazing.
What a nice kid, too. Came up and talked to us after the game. And
Yep.
That was over on iHeart.
Uh-oh. No, it wasn't. It was on AABN.
Was it?
Yeah.
Was it really?
Yeah, they haven't started. They simulcasted 3 this year, all of our football games. iHeart doesn't carry baseball, so.
That's too bad.
Yeah, it's too bad. And then next year, obviously, I'm sure they'll probably simulcast again football and basketball when they don't have anybody in the arena. So, pretty cool. Shameless plug for iHeartRadio as well, 1340.
Shameless plug for Aaron Hines and company down there.
But we'll proudly plug the Ashland Arrows Broadcasting Network presented by Sarver Paving. And, folks, we thank Sarver Paving. If you see those guys out in the community, tell them thank you. I literally mean this. None of this would be possible without that family and that company and everybody else that supports us along the way. Second attempt up and good. 57-35. Ashland leads. West Holmes just about to put a bow on this one here. Going to hold the ball. Lainey McNamara with a pro move right there. Doesn't take a shot. And the Arrows victorious here inside Arrow Arena. 57-35. BW, your quick take brought to us by Bo Lacey Construction.
Well, my thoughts, Chris, it's incredibly important what happened in the second quarter. From the middle of the first quarter through the end of the second quarter, the Arrows went on a 31-6 run, and that was really the turning point of the game, brought to you by Bo Lacey. It also was just the most important piece of the basketball game. There's no doubt that was an opportunity for the Arrows to really pull away because West Holmes came out here ready to play. We talked about it. West Holmes, kind of got down in Millersburg. We beat up on them, and they came out ready to play here today. But the better team won, and the Arrows stayed patient. They showed their maturity as a team, Chris, and this is what happens with a team that has grown up before our eyes over the last 2 years.
We watched this team last year early kind of struggle to say, who are we? Now we've got some sophomores and freshmen and juniors playing together. It was a little helter-skelter. I think anybody would admit that.
Sure.
And then they found their way. They found some chemistry. They said, oh, I know she's going to be here, or she's going to be there, or whatever, and they found each other. Then they had that streak in the middle of last season. It was really, really good, and that really had everybody buying in, and they've taken that middle of the season last year and basically played an entire season this year with that same kind of mojo, if you will, and it's really, really good as the Arrows improve to 12-3 and 8-0 inside the OCC. I'm Chris Mowry. That's Brandon Wells. We'll be right back right after this.
Simonson Construction is proud to sponsor Arrows Athletics, the most trusted and efficient construction company in the region. With a long history of doing things the right way from concept to completion, Simonson Construction solves all your construction needs for commercial and public projects. A truly local company providing award-winning comprehensive design-build services since 1974. For more information, scan the QR code or go to simonsonconstruction.com. Come visit the South Street Grill in downtown Ashland, the official watch location every Friday night during the Arrows football season. You can catch all the action in the bar area on the big screens. Elevated casual dining in downtown Ashland, steaks, seafood, hand-patty burgers, vegetarian options, salads, and a huge kids menu. Something for everyone in a completely renovated, historic building. South Street Grill, your home for Arrows football. The most trusted and efficient construction company in the region. With a long history of doing things the right way from concept to completion, Simonson Construction solves all your construction needs for commercial and public projects. A truly local company providing award-winning comprehensive design-build services since 1974. For more information, scan the QR code or go to simonsonconstruction.com. Come visit the South Street Grill in downtown Ashland, the official watch location every Friday night during the Arrows football season. You can catch all the action in the bar area on the big screens. Elevated casual dining in downtown Ashland, steaks, seafood, hand-patted burgers, vegetarian option salads, and a huge kids menu. Something for everyone in a completely renovated, historic building. South Street Grill, your home for Arrows football.
At Bill Harris Dealerships, where great prices meet an even better selection, we're driving home the best experience you've ever had. With Chevrolet, Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram, find the ride that defines you. And our huge selection of high-quality used cars and trucks is why you should check Bill Harris first. 3 brands, 3 convenient locations, 1 unforgettable Bill Harris experience. Dive into great prices, explore a better selection, and enjoy the best buying experience with us today. Bill Harris Dealerships, the name you know and trust. BillHarrisDealerships.com.
Bo Lacey Construction is proud to sponsor Arrows Athletics. Experience you can trust done right on time. From siding to windows, decks, and bathrooms, Bo Lacey also is your go-to company for all your roofing needs. Whether it's your house or your business, we've got you covered. And don't forget to check out the new Hover 3D app so you can see what every exterior home project will look like when it's finished. Scan the QR code or visit BoLaceyConstruction.com for more. The team at Whitcomb has all of your needs covered. Plan, grow, thrive. Financial advisors and CPAs will help you grow your business and investments.
Arrows victorious.
Dr. Metzger is holding court. I think he's given us a lesson on psychology up there. You know, that's what he is a professor of.
Here's a funny story. I had...
he's a smart dude.
Yeah, he's really smart. We had a guy on our baseball team in the summer named Bill Rogers. His son Jax played baseball with us forever, and Bill's a character. Actually, he's in attendance. I see him literally right now. I had no idea he was here. And he kept telling Metzger that, you know, your class has got to be the easiest thing to do. It's psychology. Like, hell, everybody knows psychology. And he's laughing and whatnot. And Metzger said, look, you come to my class, you take my class. If you get anything above a C, I'll give you $500. He never showed up and took the class. It was going to be free because all he had to do is walk in, right? Player of the game, Cam Cox, joins us, presented by Truax Printing, your full-service commercial printing source in Ashland and Loudonville. Visit truaxprinting.com. Big game tonight, 18. You had a whole bunch of boards and some assists and some steals. You played really well tonight.
Thank you.
What was it like knowing that you had a chance, your team and your teammates had a chance to knock off and sweep West Holmes? I don't think that's ever happened. Maybe it has. I don't know. Maybe. Did you guys talk about that?
Yeah, actually, this is funny, but we played them last time around and beat them, and their coach said we beat them because they didn't have 2 starters. So tonight, we came in and we said we will beat you with your starters. So it was disrespectful.
It was.
We took it.
You guys got off to a rough start, but then it was a 31-6 run to end the first half that carried over. What flipped the switch there?
Actually, my teammates came to me and said we need energy. So we picked it up as a team, and we knew that that's how we converted.
You just wanted to show out for Mama and Papa out there, didn't you?
Yeah. I mean, it feels good. I haven't.
And Grandpa Bud. You wanted to show out for Bud.
Did you guys envision what's happening right now? 12-3, 8-0 in the conference?
Yeah. I think we've been doubted constantly, and we came into the season, and we had to show who we are as a team. And we're continuing to prove that.
I called this young lady the glue, Grace Tobias. Talk to us about what she's bringing to you guys on the court.
She works her butt off every single day, every single play. She's up, she's on the press every single play, and she literally pesters the guards. So by the end of the game, they're tired. And she's working so hard, and I think she deserves all the credit.
Yeah. You know, another one I wanted to highlight was Madison Hoffman. Grace Tobias went into that starting role. Madison Hoffman went to become the 6th person off the bench, or the first person off the bench, if you will. And her scoring is really ballooned. And it's really taken off. And maybe there's less pressure that she's putting on herself, or maybe that's just, you know, kind of the flow of the game, whatever it might be. I don't know what it is, but, you know, Coach Holtz found that secret recipe, and you get Tobias playing really well. She didn't score a single point today, but she was, as your point, she was as mainstay as anybody in the lineup today. And then Madison, coming off the bench, has 13, you know, and played really big.
It's unheard of. Yeah, I think she knew how hard she needed to work coming back from an injury. And she's shown up.
Cam, I will tell you, you need to watch even more footage of this young lady that you can see down there. That's Lena Snyder.
Oh, I watched her.
Right?
I watched
So
her in
you've
the prime.
seen yeah,
Yep.
well, and I can see there's some similarities that you have watched, right? I
you.
thought that might be the case, right?
Yeah.
We had her on at halftime. So big win here today. Obviously, you guys have won 8 in a row. You know, we've got Worcester on Saturday, right? Was that, or,
Yep.
No.
Yep,
Yeah,
Worcester on Saturday.
Worcester on Saturday, and then an opportunity to win this conference for the first time in 30 years. What would that mean to you guys to set that record and kind of break that streak with Coach Holt?
I think it shows who we are. I think it shows who we are as people and like players on the court. We've worked hard. Coach has been here for 5 years now, and we have yet to see success. So we're seeing it, and we're not going to back down now when it's right there.
Last question for you before we let you go. I'm always curious about this. You have good teams that compete, and you have good teams that are good because they just have a lot of talent. What has made you guys good? Like, what's practice like? What's the competing like? Like, what has made this group, outside of talent, become good and dangerous?
I think our team chemistry. We're a family, and we fight. We fight like a family at practice every single day. Everybody wants to be the best.
That's good.
So
Yeah.
I think that, and just holding each other accountable. We know what to take, and we know how to not overstep. You know what I mean? So criticism is not bad, and we've learned that. So
Cam Cox, our Truax Printing Player of the Game, and not only that, but you get an Applebee's gift card
Thank
as
you.
well. Great job tonight, 18 points for the junior. Come on back. We'll have Coach Renee Holt right after this.
thank you.
Simonson Construction is proud to sponsor Arrows Athletics, the most trusted and efficient construction company in the region. With a long history of doing things the right way from concept to completion, Simonson Construction solves all your construction needs for commercial and public projects. A truly local company providing award-winning comprehensive design-build services since 1974. For more information, scan the QR code or go to simonsonconstruction.com. Come visit the South Street Grill in downtown Ashland, the official watch location every Friday night during the Arrows football season. You can catch all the action in the bar area on the big screens. Elevated casual dining in downtown Ashland, steaks, seafood, hand-patted burgers, vegetarian options, salads, and a huge kids menu. Something for everyone in a completely renovated, historic building. South Street Grill, your home for Arrows football.
At Bill Harris Dealerships, where great prices meet an even better selection, we're driving home the best experience you've ever had. With Chevrolet, Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram, find the ride that defines you. And our huge selection of high-quality used cars and trucks is why you should check Bill Harris first. 3 brands, 3 convenient locations, 1 unforgettable Bill Harris experience. Dive into great prices, explore a better selection, and enjoy the best buying experience with us today. Bill Harris Dealerships, the name you know and trust. BillHarrisDealerships.com.
Bo Lacey Construction is proud to sponsor Arrows Athletics. Experience you can trust done right on time. From siding to windows, decks, and bathrooms, Bo Lacey also is your go-to company for all your roofing needs. Whether it's your house or your business, we've got you covered. And don't forget to check out the new Hover 3D app so you can see what every exterior home project will look like when it's finished. Scan the QR code or visit BoLaceyConstruction.com for more. The team at Whitcomb & Hess have all of your needs covered. Plan, grow, thrive. Financial advisors and CPAs will help you grow your business and investments.
Head coach Renee Holt joins us of the 12 and 3.
12 and 3.
And 8-0 in the OCC Ashland Arrows. Did you think when we sat in the basement at the South Street Grill that through 15 games, your team, after losing 2 of the first 3, I think it was, that you would reel off 11 out of 13 and find yourselves with a 12 and 3 record?
I think a lot of people here in the Ashland community don't think they would ever see it. I mean, we keep talking about the 30 years, and
Yeah.
I mean, we keep stacking those wins, and it's just the hard work the girls are putting in.
Coach, I got to tell you, I as much as we loved having Cam up here as our player of the game, I called this next young lady the glue, Grace Tobias, defensively and offensively because she keeps the ball moving. boy, is she playing well right now.
She works her butt off, doesn't she?
That's exactly what Cam said, word for word.
We keep laughing. We're like, man, I bet those other point guards really hate you.
That's no better compliment, right?
Yes,
Yeah. That's no
yes.
better
Nobody,
compliment.
look, we're point guards. We didn't like playing against those kinds of
No.
people, right?
Nope.
They were the worst.
But she's fun to have on our team. I mean, she works on the court. She works in the classroom. She's just an all-around awesome kid.
Talk about Madison Hoffman real quick. You know, when somebody moves, I don't care if it's football or baseball or basketball, it doesn't matter. But when a kid that's 16, 17, 15, 18 years old, whatever, is moved from a starting role to a bench player, a key bench player, and somebody else takes their spot, that can usually, I'd say 80% plus of the time, you lose them. Because
that's
they're
tough.
just like,
What was your message to her?
Gave up to me.
Because whatever you said to her about that switch has worked.
You know, it was a tough switch, and it's tough for anybody,
Yes,
honestly.
But she's still playing critical minutes.
she's playing
Awesome.
great.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. And we keep telling her, we need you.
Yeah.
And that 6-man role is just as important
Yep.
as the 5 starters.
Yep, absolutely.
She goes in there, and we don't miss a beat. And it's
Yep.
cool to see. We keep telling her, push the ball, keep shooting the ball. I mean, being Maddie and another kid, I'm just blessed to have.
I think it's given her an edge. Like, I think
Yes,
maybe a little
yes.
chip, a little edge of like, I want to be in the lineup all the time.
Oh, yeah.
And sometimes it's like, well, you don't want to get rid of that. So it's worked really well. She's played great basketball. You know, your former teammate Lena Snyder here tonight to witness this. You know, her sister obviously coaching on the other side. West Holmes came out and gave it to us a little bit, but then a 31-6 run to end the half. Boy,
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
31-6. What was
That's
the key
nice.
there? Because I mean, all of a sudden the switch flipped.
Honestly, I told them after that first quarter, they haven't seen Ashland basketball yet. They haven't seen us yet. And we're just being lazy with the ball in the first quarter. We're just not making the smartest decisions, not getting the great shots that we want. And we turned up our defense.
I'm going to ask you this last question. The same question I asked Cam at the end. Whether it be in practice, whether it's competing or locker room or whatever, but what's gelled this team? What's been the thing that's brought this group together and been able to provide these results?
I think it's all on them. I think it's a decision they made at the beginning of the season and said, we want that OCC crown. They keep talking. That 30 years hangs on that wall every day in the gym. And our practices are tough. They are tough. And we keep telling them, that makes the games easier.
Cam said the same thing.
Yes, she did.
So whatever message you're preaching to them, they are hearing it. Coach.
They're listening.
Good.
They're hearing it. She said practices are tough, and practices should be harder than the game, right? That's
Yep.
what I always thought.
That's
too.
an Urban Meyerism.
I think that was long before him. Just to be clear.
I think it was true when he was
Buckeye
paying all
honk.
those players
Come on.
down there in Florida. Buckeyes, natty number 9 secured. Arrows 8-0 secured inside the OCC, and they improved their record to 12-3. That's head coach Renee Holt. I'm Chris Mallory. That's Brandon Wells. Take us home, BW.
God bless, Godspeed. Go Arrows!